Ooh, okay. Okay. This is gonna be a little bit painful, because these guys are Dreadmasters and Dark Riders and all kinds of things. Hello Reformers, and welcome back to Warsword Conquest and Percy. And, well, you can see here that Percy's perusing through his weekly budget. And we're actually not doing too badly now. Thankfully, the dye works at Bloodhorn is now up and running. And, well, the net revenue from the other dye works has plummeted pretty harshly. Don't exactly know why that is, because I only have 3 of them up and running, so technically they shouldn't be doing that, but I guess maybe there's a calculation running in the background that is causing a little bit of deviation from the regular, 1600 or so that we might actually be getting from the dye works in a normal, kind of situation. Anyway, as you can see right here, I am still outside Arnhem Fortress. I've waited for a little bit just to allow our wonderful allies and minions go in and weaken up the garrison a little bit. And we are going to be going in here and helping them out afterwards. And yes, just so that you know, I don't have, as you can see here, I don't have a huge amount of HP. Oh, yes. And I have a shield. And I still get hit. Isn't that great? Anyway, I do have a shield now, because I had a spare one in my inventory, and I thought to myself, yes, okay, it's about time that I equip one of these beasties, and, try and use it to the best of my ability, or, shall we say, to the best of Percy's ability. I mean, let's face it, he's not exactly great when it comes to anything, and, well, hopefully we'll be able to maybe get a little bit of a kill here, maybe able to poison someone or something, and we'll see how that goes. But at the moment, it doesn't seem to be the case. You can see here that we're having some difficulties even getting inside onto the battlements. But I think we should be fine. Yes, there we go. Okay, we actually got inside here. Now we... Oh, no. Yes, we should be fine, he says, as I get murdered. Yes, never mind. I just got killed. Yes, you take fatal damage. The poison inflicts more pain on your body. So I received 20 damage because I just fell unconscious, but I don't think I would have died from this. I mean, this is a very small drop. There's no way that I would have taken 20 damage from that. So I assume I took damage from some kind of poison bomb or something along those lines. Ah, that's a cool new feature. Lord Caladane has reached 10 kills in the current battle. Does that mean that the game actually tracks the various lords' kill streaks? That's actually a really cool feature in my opinion. Lord Caladane is doing an insane job right now. He is basically killing huge amounts of units. He's 2 points, actually 2 points. He's 1 kill away now from getting 15 kills, and let's see whether he's actually able to get there. It would be pretty cool if he was. I'd like to be able to see whether it... oh no, it doesn't display that. Okay, so basically I feel like the game is going to display kills in forms of 10, I suppose. I would expect that to be the case. Anyway, Lord Caladane was killed, and unfortunately he is now no longer helping us. Matthias Thulman, he actually did kill someone. I think he killed maybe 2. I'm not entirely sure how many he killed, but yes, quite a few. And personally, I feel like the Dark Elves are a very interesting faction. They feel like... I don't know, it feels like they're kind of... not to say... I don't want to call them weak, that's the thing. They seem kind of dangerous, but in a kind of double-edged sword kind of way. And I don't know whether that's accurate to really describe them like that. But it seems like they come... Well, shall we say their units come with very light armor, for the most part. And they just have so much offensive capability. I mean, these crossbows right here are so incredibly damaging that to have... Let's just say I have a bunch of, what, Dark Elf, Dark Shards or something like that. They're the higher tier crossbowmen. Let's say we have a bunch of those, a bunch of Nagaroth assassins and everything. Who is going to be able to stand up to that offensive capability? There's just no one. No one ever would be able to do that. Maybe some lizard men with... a couple of Croxagors maybe would be able to stand up to that damage. Maybe the undead with some of their some of their more hardy units, but for the most part, yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult to find something that can stand up against those guys. There were 8 Naggaroth assassins here. I'm just thankful that I didn't come across one of those, that's for sure. Anyway, the main problem I'm having right now as Percy is the fact that he doesn't have a good amount of weapon proficiency in one-handed. As you can see, he only has 80. I have 168 in polearms, and I decided to switch to that because obviously you can't use magic in a siege, so it just kind of made sense, didn't it? It kind of makes sense to spec into that. Anyway, let's have a small look here, as we do have some things that I can give my units to kind of upgrade them a little bit, and maybe we actually want to give... not entirely sure. We might want to give Hikaru, maybe a gun of some kind. I mean, maybe we want to give him the Warplock musket. It's a little bit slow, in my opinion, and we don't really have any ammunition for him at the moment. His firearm skill is 90, which is pretty decent. He has 2 in Weapon Master now as well, so I guess that might actually make sense. So why not? Let's just give him the Warplock musket, and we're going to give him some bullets and hopefully a shield as well at some point. I mean, this shield right here is size 100, but yet it was barely able to protect me against the first initial bolt or whatever, you know, actually did damage to me in that siege. So that is kind of worrying going forward. Maybe I need to spec a little bit into shield skill or something like that to make our shield a little bit larger. And yeah, hopefully that would make a bit of a difference there. Anyway, what are these guys gonna do now? It seems like they're traveling back. That's it. Seems like they're just traveling back to High Elf territory, which is, you know, it's to be expected, I suppose. But yes, I guess I'm just going to stick around here for a little bit and see whether maybe a weaker vassal decides to come out of nowhere and challenge the fortress. Alright, so luckily I do have a vassal nearby to me right now, and that is hopefully going to help me if there's any Dark Elf vassals around here. It seems like there were none that wanted to intercept me before I was able to raid this village. Now, I did head back to High Elf territory, sell my wares. I basically gained about 3,000, I think, and I was able to also purchase a little bit of food, as you can see here, a little bit of bread and cheese and grapes and so on and so forth. Otherwise, wow. Okay, well, hopefully I'm not going to consume this oil and wine and all kinds of wonderful things before I get back in time to sell them, because this is just insane. Wow, that is some crazy stuff. Okay, I'm gonna be taking the cheese instead of the sausages, of course, and the cheap dried meat can get out of here because we are gonna take some other things that are much more worth it to sell. Oh yes, I also bought another spell. Now this spell, what it does is apparently allies return light damage when hit by the enemy. So whatever that means, you know, whether it's light damage as in actual light, like sunlight, or whether it's just, you know, very light damage in terms of it being minor damage, then of course, I think that's going to be pretty cool, actually. So I wouldn't mind getting into a field battle of some kind, and maybe that means that I need to get my halberd equipped again, because as far as I'm aware, you cannot use a shield at the same time as magic. So there is also that. Anyway, let's see if I can maybe do something here with this fellow, and maybe we can help him out a little bit. I haven't seen any Dark Elf vassals though, which is a bit weird. Not entirely sure what's going on with that. Alright, so we have an encounter with a Dark Elf here. They have about 50 units, and as you can see, he's not particularly fond of us. You have raided my village of monoliths. My villagers will rejoice when I, personally apparently, hang parts of your body from every corner. Well, you'll have to put me in that square first, because otherwise you won't be able to find the corners, right? Yes, very good jokes, very good. 88 against 49 here, and our renown value is actually, wow, okay. That's a pretty good renown value in my opinion. I am back to the halberd, of course, because I would like to use some magic here. I'm actually going to try and use Shield of Thorns. I don't know how long it lasts, but there we go. Nearby allied troops will return damage when hit. Yeah, I assume it's minor damage. And we're also going to do peace as well. Give them a little bit of... ooh, okay. Okay. This is going to be a little little bit painful, because these guys are Dreadmasters and Dark Riders and all kinds of things. Okay, well, if anyone gets knocked unconscious, it's all good, because we have the regrowth spell available, and hopefully we'll be able to use that. But maybe we don't even need it. Maybe we don't even need it. We are actually doing a lot of damage to them right now, because they decided to charge their cavalry straight on in here, which is really quite bad for them. But Nagaroth assassins are now starting to come in here, and I'm not particularly pleased with that whatsoever. Let's tell our other infantry to charge in here. Whoa, okay. Okay. Yes. I am going to need to cast something here. There we go. Oh, yes. Got a whole bunch of people back on their feet. Unfortunately, the people that die, I am unable to do anything with that. But the power of the Kraken regenerates Lord Fellheart. I have no idea what that means. It sounds very impressive indeed. But, oh, okay. Apparently he was knocked unconscious once again. Do you think he's going to get up right in front of me? He's going to be like, Kraken, help me out here. And then the tentacles will just come in from nowhere and be like, hello. And just get him up. But no. It doesn't seem that it works a second time, which is great. Ah, okay. Well, there you go. 14 renown for us. Actually, a pretty decent amount for such a small battle. And I thought that we were going to get maybe like 5, but 14? Well, that's pretty good. Alright, so as you can see, 26 were wounded, and 3 were killed. Then we do have a couple of allied casualties as well, which is kind of amusing. I think that when you revive people using regrowth, the game technically counts it as allies instead of anything else. Alright, so there you go. That's it. And now we do get... Oh, he's the Kraken Lord. I didn't even see that in his name. Okay, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Anyway, let's take him prisoner. Let's take him prisoner, for sure. And we'll take a Black Guard and a couple of Chaos Zealots. Personally, these guys, I don't think they can even level up. No, they can't even level up. Okay, I'm not going to take them, just for the sheer fact that I don't really want to deal with them at the moment. There is an Assassin Hood here. This would be pretty nice for us to give to one of our companions, because I have been, well, shall we say, notified by a couple of you that most of my companions do not have helms, and that's a massive oversight on my part. So we're going to give Hikaru an Assassin Hood here, and I'm actually going to give him this Assassin... Oh. He can't use that. He needs 10 strength to be able to use that? Okay, remind me. 10 strength. That's what we need to do. Next time he levels up, we're going to put it in strength, and we're going to see what he can then use. Hopefully that weapon will be quite nice, but otherwise, let's just continue leveling up Gulax's strength. We're going to give him another point in Power Strike as well, because I'd like him to be, pretty decent at what he does when it comes to... bashing faces in and so on. Otherwise, I'm not entirely sure where to go to now, because I actually did lose the High Elf Vassal. I don't know where he went, but I think he maybe went back to High Elf territory, I guess. Maybe that would be the case. Anyway, this is kind of a bit... It's kind of okay, but I don't have my ship anywhere close by, which is really quite bad, because I would like to go over to Chaos Dwarf territory, sell my stuff, and then come back here. Because of course these are the only guys... Oh. Well, that's kind of a shame, isn't it? One of your prisoners has escaped. Just so happens to be the fellow that we just captured. Okay, so we do actually have a couple of Skaven Corsairs here. There's 60 of them, which is a pretty large number. I don't exactly know how much renown we're going to get for this. Only 5. Okay. Well... if that's all I'm going to get, then that's all I'm going to get. I guess that's the best we can do. When it comes to a bandit party, I think getting 5 renown is pretty good, but yeah, obviously, maybe we're spoiled. Maybe we're spoiled from that previous Dark Elf encounter. Could be. Anyway, what I'm going to do after this fight is I'm going to go and get my ship, and we're going to go and make a brief stopover in Chaos Dwarf territory. Now bear in mind that the only reason I'm actually in Dark Elf territory right now is literally just because that is the only faction the High Elves are currently at war against, and everyone else is kind of in a state of perpetual truce and peace and trade agreements and so on and so forth. And so I didn't really want to cause any additional drama, shall we say, when it comes to, you know, the other factions and everything, because those guys, you know, I'd kind of like to leave them alone for the most part. You know, I'd like to be able to, you know, utilize as much of our peacetime as possible and make it so that we don't really have to worry too much about multiple enemies on multiple fronts, basically. That's what I'm trying to say here in a very, very roundabout way. Anyway, point is, hopefully we'll be able to get some kills here. Yeah, we're actually not even doing that badly. Personally, I feel like using a polearm is a pretty fun experience. The only thing that is obviously kind of harsh with it is that if someone, like for example, a Nagaroth assassin or something that has a very, very fast attack speed, if they get really close to you, you basically can't do anything. So you do need to be a bit careful of your positioning and everything like that. But if you have a low athletic skill, like I do, then it's going to be basically impossible to do anything with that, because those guys are going to be able to close the distance so quickly. And, oh my, look at that. That's crazy. That is really, really crazy. I was not expecting to find any cartridges here whatsoever, but I'm really, really pleased that they've actually decided to give us some. And so that means I will be able to use the assassin sword, the shield, and the pistol, as well as the bullets, all at once. So if we have a time where we don't necessarily need or want to use magic, even though it would be kind of a waste considering I do have so many points in it, but yeah, if there is a time like that, then we have an option. Okay, so we actually have a pretty funny thing on our hands here. I just want to show this for like literally 30 seconds, but look at this. Percy Bogworth against Percy Bogworth. Yes, that is a bug and a half if ever I saw one. I've never seen this before, so it's pretty amusing to me. And yeah, I have no idea why it even happened. But I suppose, you know, if you have multiple versions of your own ship, then I guess you kind of have to expect that you're going to appear at some point as well. Time travel, anyone? Alright, so we have finally arrived in Chaos Dwarf lands, and, well, this is exactly the amount that we're getting for that one village. It is all thanks to the exquisite oil that I'm selling for about 6,600. That is just insane amounts. And thankfully, with this additional 13,000 gold, I will be able to maybe purchase an enterprise as well. Well, speaking to the guild master, it appears that the best option for us right here is an oil works. Very, very strange, isn't it? But yeah, it is apparently the best option. I checked the Weavery and Dye Works. It would have given me about 400. Yeah, about 450 or something like that per week, and this is giving us 1,000, so obviously that's much better. I have just received word that Arnheim Fortress is currently under siege, and I can assume that because it's under siege, there are probably a large amount of Dark Elf vassals there. And so, considering Arnheim Fortress is all the way down in the southern territory of Dark Elf lands, it would kind of make sense for me to go and raid another village, and that's exactly what we're going to do, because half of the battle, especially in Warsword Conquest, I've found, at least, that's the thing, it really depends on the mod, obviously, because sometimes money is not that important, but mods like Pendor, Prisno, etc., money is very important, and so, in general, even in Warsword Conquest, it's always an idea to get some kind of cash flow coming in and making sure that you're going to be absolutely secure whether anything happens. So for example, if my mercenary payment went away tomorrow, then, you know, I have a whole bunch of enterprises to fall back on, and that's a really, really good way to go about it. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to raid this. If I don't get too much from this, it's actually not even a big deal, because I can basically just go over to Chaos Dwarf, you know, the Chaos Dwarf town, just sell a whole bunch there, and then just go all the way back to Dark Elf territory, a different village, and then just get a whole bunch of loot from there too. So there's some exquisite ale right here, tempered iron, hardened tools, all of that stuff is going to be selling for such a huge amount. I am really pleased about that. There is a bunch of well-made bread here and everything as well, which technically would sell for quite a bit. But at the moment I do have, I guess I could just swap out the cheese. We could swap out the smoked fish as well. Fine cheese, grapes. Technically, all of this cheap bread and everything can get swapped out, but I don't really, I don't know. Maybe it's just a good idea to do it. I don't know. Let's just continue to do that. There we go. All right. So I'm going to go back very quickly to the Chaos Dwarf town, and I'm going to sell there, and then we're going to try and see if we can find another vassal to take down. I don't know whether that's going to be possible because, of course, those guys are a little bit elusive, shall we say. Oh, it seems to be another one of these guys where we have raided his village. Well, we have raided quite a few villages, so I suppose I'm not too surprised about this. Now, this fellow has many more troops than we have previously fought before, and we might have some difficulties with this guy, because I only have 86 against 72. And, yeah, well, let's see what happens here. We're going to get our infantry out the front, archers in the back, and I am going to try and do a little bit of maneuvering with our cavalry. And there we go. Oh yes, Shield of Thorns is up and running. And oh my, this is maybe not good. Okay, well, we're going to try our best. Okay, so those guys are just going to charge straight on in there. And the cavalry is now being kind of annoying, aren't they? Okay, well, I'm going to keep regrowth a little bit more ready. And we're going to see if I'm going to need it. And maybe... okay, whoa, I think that was some pretty good damage, I think. Anyway, we're just going to tell our cavalry to charge in now. Maybe we'll try and disrupt the enemy's reinforcements from coming in too quickly. And otherwise, hopefully they will be able to kill this guy as well. Yeah, there we go. His mount is down. And I think we're pretty good now. Yes, let's tell our cavalry to come back here. Gonna cast regrowth. Yes, that actually did work. Amazing. I was not anticipating that at all. I thought to myself, no, it's going to fail. It's going to fail. There we go. Earthblood is also working. Very nice indeed. Okay, so, yeah, let's tell our other forces to charge in once again. Let's move our archers a little bit closer to the action, and then we'll see what I can do with my polearm. Let's go in there and try and do a little bit of something. Okay, now let's see here. Oh, this. Whoa, okay, that guy has a pretty cool polearm. I'd like that polearm, please. Wow, that's a pretty cool looking polearm, that's for sure. Okay, come on, get. There we go, got him. Okay, fantastic. Oh yeah, by the way, I have no idea what happened to the text log. I went into one of the Chaos Dwarf towns, and well, suffice to say, it just disappeared. I don't know whether that's because there's a couple of problems there in terms of script error or whatever, but yeah, there might be a bit of an issue there. Ooh, okay, so this is a Nagaroth assassin. Got to be a bit careful here. Yeah. Yes. You know, I knew my number was up. As soon as this guy parried my ability, my skill, which was, well, non-existent, wasn't it? Yes, very good, Percy. He's just looking at me while he's down, and he's just like, are you serious? Are you really serious about this? Yeah, that's exactly my point. Anyway, look at him. He's just very peaceful. It's very peaceful. He's ready to continue doing what we need to do. Oh yeah, by the way, if you can hear any hammering right now, that is my very considerate neighbors. Yes, very, very considerate. Anyway, we are done. We are absolutely done right here. And yeah, hopefully, how much... I don't even know how much renown we would have gained from this. I have no idea. But at the very least, we have achieved victory, and unfortunately, he managed to escape, which is unfortunate. And I was hopeful that maybe he had some good prisoners, but he does not. He only has Chaos Zealots, so nothing to worry about there. Otherwise, he did drop a chipped Dark Elf Saber. I will take it, but I'm not entirely sure about that, to be honest. I feel like I'm going to raid the nearby village of Spiteful and then see what I can do. As you can see, he was just about to get into the castle here by the time that I actually, you know, intercepted him and everything. And yeah, I guess I'm actually going to end this episode off here. I actually planned to do a little bit longer, but now with that hammering, I'm starting to lose a little bit of concentration. Isn't that amazing? Yes, great. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.